Ping, pingly, ping, boom.
Hey guys, welcome to another long-delayed episode of the Brothers Play. Today we're I'm doing a quick hands-on of We Happy Few, which has been pitched to me, and as far as I can understand it, it's a roguelike sort of first-person brawler, I guess. I haven't seen any guns in the gameplay of this one, although you might come across some later on down the track. So I managed to get my hands on the early access of it, which is kind of cool. I mean, it's not like it was an exclusive early access. It was just there. You could get early access for like $40, and it gives you like alpha access to the game. I actually did pretty bad. I did manage to get past the first sort of thing. The game itself actually starts fairly stock standard. Not much really happens. Yeah, not much really happens in the game, really. So you see yourself sort of sitting at the desk. Shump, you put the thing in and you do the redaction. It's actually just, you sit through most of the prologue just to introduce you to what's happening in the game. Now that is fairly boring, so what I've actually done is nipped the prologue in half. I've just taken out some of the more boring parts. It was mostly just me screwing around on the redactor. You actually can choose to whether or not you want to redact something or not approve or redact something, so that's kind of cool. I don't know if that has any other additional effect on the world around you, but it's just cool to have, I guess. Oh, we're coming to a memory. This is the one, if you watch the trailer, it kind of breaks him a little bit. Breaks Arthur, I think his name's Arthur. Yeah, breaks Arthur a little bit out of his drug-induced reverie.
When life annoys,
sort of happiness.
Top up your joy.
And you actually have a choice as to whether or not you want to take the pill or not. I didn't take the pill, obviously, because if you take the pill,
There you are. You nearly missed
now
the
we skip
pinata.
to the part where
It's
we're
the most
beating up the
adorable
pinata.
Spanish custom. Uncle Jack did a whole show about it. You smash it until all the candy comes out. Come on, hit it.
Uncle Jack
Hit it.
is also very oddly.
Hit it! Stop!
He's like the big brother of the game, so he's only ever talking about happiness and life and like just sort of washing over all the bad by medicating yourself up to the eyeballs, which is super great.
Off your joy. Take one of mine.
Oh, that is disgusting.
Oh my lord. He's a downer. Call security. We've got a downer.
Yep, and so it begins. And then Bender ran.
Probably a bad time to watch for that
Yeah,
race.
so you sort of panicked a little bit. I couldn't really get over the shelf. So you sort of get labeled a downer, and that's someone who just isn't on their meds anymore. It's kind of weird. I guess that's a bit of a social statement. Oh, no! Ow, ow, ow. Run. And this is where the game sort of kicks in. You're running down the hallway. And you don't control any part of this. Bobby's in the intro. There's not much that I don't really know. Yeah, there you go. We're going to the loading screen.
Good Christ. I can't believe I'm still alive.
Yeah, this is where the game starts. You wake up underneath Wellington.
Ow.
It's funny because
Feels like I lost
Wellington
an
might be
argument with a
like
train.
sounds like a play on words on everyone
I can't
being
go
well.
back. I've got to get out of here.
But also
Coming to town.
it's also the name of an actual city in New Zealand. I think there's one in the UK as well. My geography is really bad. I hated geography. So this is your safe room. You actually have a safe, like where you can stash your junk.
It's Mrs. Stokes.
They could give you a random. Ooh, she hanged herself. They also give you a sort of a random assortment of items, like crafting material that you can use to build any number of gadgets and tools. The crafting is a lot like Don't Starve, so as long as you have the materials, you don't really need to go to a machine desk.
It looks like she's gone off her rocker.
Screwing out with the melee there. Punch him. Oh, she left some letters. I didn't take a lot of time to read through these, so if you really actually do want to read through them, just pause the video. I'll wait right here. And give it a quick read. It's, I think, from what I gleaned from the letter, Mrs. Stokes pretty much lost her mind because she couldn't put up with the level of sort of like how I think she couldn't sustain the veneer, like the drug-addled veneer of happiness that she had going on. I'm not really sure. I didn't really take very long to read through it. I just wanted to get my hands out there and play the game. So you can actually move bodies, which is kind of a weird stealth dynamic. I don't know what that will actually do, because when I was playing the demo, I can tell you now I killed quite a few people, and I never hit their bodies, so I guess, you know, whatever. I'm assuming... Oh yeah, you're actually, oddly enough, supposed to hide her body, which I don't actually know how to do at all. I guess the idea is so that you don't get sick. I don't know. Let's get her out of here.
This is jammed. I'll need something to pry it open.
Yeah, so a lot of the time, like that was the early introduction to crafting. And it's really cool in terms of the sort of gathering and stealing, where you just hit X and you hit X again and you can take everything out of the box, out of the container you're looking at. Of course, apparently theft is a thing here as well. If you break into something where someone can see you, it becomes a bit of a problem. The world is very pretty. It's very Bioshock / by way of Dishonored, so world crafting is quite good as far as I can tell. Use of tools. I had a Jimmy bar earlier, and that is pretty much a single use. You can build other weapons like sharp sticks that you can use to sort of spear people in combat, and you can pick up clubs, which are just chunks of wood with a good heft to them that you can sort of bash people about the head with. That's, you know, super fun, super kid friendly. And here's where I hide her body. Just leave it there. There's a bit of a stealth mechanic as well. This is me just wandering
Not
around
Harry.
the street.
You don't even look
You
like
know.
Roast beef, beef Wellington pie.
the
Yeah,
centre
see, they've
cannot hold.
included an
Mere
actual
anarchy is
conversation
loosed upon the world.
with the NPCs in the game, but mostly all the main character says is just nonsense.
Ah, bananas. Yes, bananas and
Yeah, like that.
porcupines. It's a tale told by an idiot, full of sound and fury, signifying nothing.
So he has like really odd sort of poignant and deep lines, and then some that just don't make any sense at all. So, you know, so this is the objective of the game. This is the thing that I couldn't get past. You had to break through a checkpoint by getting a battery. And the problem with that I had was a lot of the batteries I found were just empty batteries, and I didn't know how to refill them, which, needless to say, was quite frustrating. Post boxes I found in the game had a lot of sort of little bits of junk. You'll find pretty much everything that is container-like you can actually access, so you can break into phone booths, take coins out. I needed a Jimmy bar for that, but for whatever reason I just couldn't be bothered. And I will jump forward in 3, 2, 1, dunk. There we are. So I flashed it forward a little bit further just because I was doing a lot of just aimless wandering, nothing very interesting. But you can actually up your skill by reading books or stealing books.
Stay away. I'm late for a very important date.
And this is sort of a weird house I found full of people who aren't normal. Oh dear. Oh yes, I made a mistake here. I stole from them and wound up getting attacked. Well, I majorly screwed that one up. And that's the combat. So there's block, obviously, and then there's attack. You can't really, I don't know if you can charge it up. I'm sure you'll be able to on the track if you're like stronger. Ow. Like that. Oh, and weapons, obviously, they do break. At some point you will have to do, ow, with your hands. You can get in a bit of a brawl here, especially when I don't actually know what the stealth mechanic is, so you can get in pretty bad situations where everyone is trying to kill you. And the problem is that they're all insane, so it's a bit... It turns into sort of a Splice Academy sort of deal. A bunch of splices. Reminds me a lot of Bioshock. 1-2 punch here. Yep, down you go. No witnesses. Oh yeah, you can get into sort of a weakened state as well if you get beaten up too badly. Fortunately for me, everything I learned in boxing kicked in. You obviously loot bodies as well, stealing items that you can use to fix yourself later. But see, the thing is, like, the game as it is in alpha stage, I'm not actually sure if I was meant to be able to get past that gate. But nevertheless, I had quite a bit of fun brawling with people and things like that. You can also use a lot of... There's also some really interesting mechanics in here that I haven't gotten to fully explore yet. But for one, like, you can... Sleeping, I think, actually helps your health if you're not doing too well. As usual, the first thing I did in an RPG, like open world RPG, was to steal every blasted thing I could get my hands on. Because I didn't know what the crafting was like. We'll give it a crack and see what happens. Pretty much just steal everything, because you never know, you could make like a ray gun out of a teapot. And this is that crazy kind of game where it would probably be a doable thing. This is what the inventory looks like. You don't have a lot of inventory space, but there are actual things that you can take.
It wasn't there
like
again
books
today.
or
I wish he'd stay away.
equipment modification kits that you can find. I found one of my other playthroughs. I found a pocket expansion kit that actually adds a whole other row to your inventory. So that was really quite awesome. The armchairs, I also found out if you find armchairs, or I think maybe even things just benches or seats that you can sit on. You can actually sit there, pull up a newspaper, and I think the idea is that you hide from the police. I honestly don't know. You know, for a world where everyone is supposed to be really happy, the outer reaches are really bad, just torn up bad. That's the bridge I need to cross, and I was trying to find a way to fill the battery cells. If anyone actually knows how to fill those battery cells, please let me know. Oh yeah, you can actually read the newspaper a little bit. I don't know if you'll be able to see it in that 1 3-second shot, but I was just doing some mucking around and I read the newspaper for a couple of seconds. That's super fun. Again, it's a very new sort of approach to... It's sort of a new angle to play the game, I guess. It's a new angle... It's a very new project. I'm having trouble with words at the moment.
What's
oh
it
yes,
like across
and
the water,
this is like, I stumbled across the village where your job is to try and, the quest is to try and rejigger the radio, and I inadvertently intruded into quite a few places here. They seem to have set up that radio as a cult
mere anarchy is loosed
figure.
upon the world.
Now, in the world itself, you will actually find various little communities and little quests and odd bits and bobs here and there. Like, one of my other playthroughs, I ran into a dude who was just throwing rocks at people, left, right, and center. I see all those batteries on the shelf, they're all empty. I couldn't work out a way to fill them up at all. Like, they wouldn't tell me how, I didn't know what I had to be looking for. It said something about imoline or imolium that you pour into the battery to start it up, but I had no idea. So the game is good, like I think it's very detailed, but the problem I have is that it requires a lot of guesswork, and they don't give you a proper, like an actual accurate pathway to what you need. It's really, I found it a bit frustrating because all the parts I found were not like overtly helpful. That said, I'm sure it'll be a lot easier down the track. I got in a bit of a brawl here, that's right. I tried to steal some shards, some bits of steel from this group here, because, you know, if they want me to restart the radio, I figure that they should at least pay in materials, right? Getting my butt whooped here. Also, if you get beaten really badly, if you look at that sort of rain cloud in the top left corner that looks a bit like blood, it's because it is blood. I'm bleeding quite badly internally. Your character has a lot of the same sort of attributes as the same sort of metrics measure, the same sort of like diagnostics as the guy in Don't Starve. So you can starve to death, you can run out of water and just die of thirst. I think if you don't get enough sleep, you slowly start to lose it as well. But I died there because I didn't find a way to stop the bleeding. Oh no, that's right. When you die, you don't actually die. You sort of pass out and enter into a negative state where you are like just super fragile, and there's not much that you can do. You just have to try and fix yourself. Which I guess is kind of cool. It gives you time to sort of figure out what went wrong where. I didn't actually do much else in this state. I was mucking around with my inventory, trying to find a way to heal myself, I think it was. As you can probably tell, this entire audio was recorded retroactively, just because the audio I recorded while I was playing the game was full of long, awkward pauses. Because it's like props to every other like YouTuber who actually talks while they do a game playthrough, because it's really hard to keep the commentary lively while you're trying not to die. At least in my case, as well. Oh yeah, so that's what the crafting looks like. They sort of show you what you need. I kept hitting the start button instead of the menu button, which is really annoying. But sure. Your heart rate, I think, actually starts hammering harder and harder the closer you are to dying. So I don't actually know. Okay, so I'm not bleeding anymore, which is good. So I think it actually has a bit of a pretty cool medical basis as well. If you get hurt bad, you need to patch yourself up before you die. And I've died. I guess I stopped the blood loss, but yeah, Arthur Hastings, Somerset Street, after a bout of excessive enthusiasm while donating blood. Anyway, guys, look, that's pretty much all we've got of the Brothers Play. Thanks so much for watching. Please feel free to tune in again. I don't know when we'll be able to get another video up, but I promise you we will try. Until then, you know, stay tuned. Please feel free to put a comment down below. Your feedback is always valued, and frankly, we need it because we can't really improve unless we know what it is you guys want more of. Anyway, thanks for watching. Maybe Ryan will join us next time. Bye!